My magazine is called Tune because it is music based and it's telling the targeted audience to tune in. My masthead is unusual for the genre I've chose when compared to Kerrang and Enemy, which are two magazines I use for my research. For example, my masthead is more formal and professional, usually incorporated in R&B magazines. The reason I did this was to give the rock and indie style a new outlook, which I thought appeals to me personally and would appeal to other people who are interested in rock and indie. My magazine has all the basics which you'll expect in a magazine, such as a masthead, strapline, website, main image, anchorage text, splash head, date, slogan and barcode. My magazine is aimed at a multi-gender teenage audience. It's not specifically aimed at boys or girls. I think this would help it sell more. I think it gives a positive perspective on teenagers and doesn't contain anything revealing or bad, which is usually shown in the media. It shows the majority of teenagers, not the minority, as usually shown. From getting the results from my questionnaire, I was able to look back at them and make sure I met the requirements that my audience wanted. This means I had to include gossip and news, which was quite a challenge because usually I have one or the other. I think I did this pretty well, and I think it represented young people as a whole and showed they were intelligent but also sociable, and they have their own social groups. If I was to use a media institution to distribute my magazine, I would typically choose the Bureau Company, which is quite unusual for my genre. However, from looking at their statistics, I think they could distribute my magazine all over the world, and they advertise theirs on radio and other media technologies. The company has been going for 21 years, so that shows they're very successful, and that is the way forward for my magazine. It's also a privately owned company, so there aren't any legislations or anything that are met. Also, because they do show it on the radio, there's millions of people in the cars every day, so my magazine would be told to millions of people each day. My target is a mixed gender of teenagers between 15 and 20, just reaching out of teenagehood. However, I think the look of my magazine is more a girly rock indie look. However, by using a female model in it also subliminally aims at boys who are interested in girls and music. This makes my magazine appeal to both genders and, like I said before, sell to a wider audience. To attract this audience, I used a range of colours, the main one being purple, which it could be suggested as a girly colour. But because I used an electric purple, minus my double page spread, however, which purple is quite light, it fits with the genre of the magazine as well as appealing to both genders. The main issue I faced was my text format, because it weren't a rock style or an indie style which you commonly see in Kerrang and Enemy. However, I think it gives a good appeal and it would appeal to my targeted audience, and it's clear and gives a good perspective of what information I have is contained within the magazine. The female model on the front of my magazine is wearing a pair of headphones which show it's music based. However, they contrast with her outfit, which I did on purpose because it shows individuality, which is I think quite important these days, as the media are showing this is how you should look and all that. So I think this is a good representation of that and helps my targeted audience feel like themselves and be themselves, and that's a positive outlook. From creating my magazine, I've learned how to use Photoshop. I've learned the concept of many tools allowing me to create a magazine with a variety of special effects that wouldn't have been possible with any other software. I learned how to blur and give special effects to simple images to give them a better effect on my magazine and make them stand out more. For example, my sixth form magazine had certain special effects that didn't work, and after having my feedback from the questionnaires, I realised that I didn't need this and took it away and made it simpler, which gave it a better effect in my personal opinion. While planning my magazine, I learned how to use Microsoft Word 2010, which was new to me because I was used to the 2003 version, which is a different layout. It was the same concept, but it was a different layout, which made it quite challenging to use. After creating my student magazine, I learned how to spend time wisely and what to research and what not to research. Especially during the research, I found that the more front covers and contents page, double page spread I researched into, the better the outcome of mine was. So I spent more time on that and hopefully created a better magazine in your view. I've also learned that magazines aren't easy to create, and to have a better respect and understanding of current magazines that are out there that are starting up, because they're starting up and I know how hard it is from creating mine. So thank you for listening. This has been my evaluation.